Howdy, howdy there, partner. Welcome to the counselor's office. Now, I know you sons of bitches are looking for the counselor. I'm sure you came to counselor's office just to see him. Don't worry, hold your horses, boys and girls. We'll get you going. That's right. Let's hold on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, scholars, welcome to the counselor's office. Let's get this show going, all right? Salute and tootin' time. Let's get it going, all right? Hell yeah.
I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, here to spread the cheer. Join me on this adventure, where gaming wipes away the tear.
There we go. Hey, welcome back to the counselor's office. I'm recording this video for you ahead of time. I'm doing 2 videos tonight before I go to bed. So enjoy the extra footage just for you. We're talking about the layoffs. I know everyone's made videos already. This is daily. I don't care. I'm going to talk about it anyways. Got a little pep in my step, as you can tell. We're having a little flair, a little zest. Not editing, but I am editing in my own way. We've got Asha. She is the CEO of Xbox. And just like Herman Hulse, she has given a statement. Listen, we knew layoffs were happening. We knew they're happening. We heard rumors, but now we've got confirmation. And just like PlayStation, we're going to read this and we're going to call out the bullshit when we see it. This is an important email I sent today to all employees on Xbox. First off, letting your employees know before everyone else. I don't know why that isn't common currency, especially Sony doesn't know how to fucking do that. So there we are. Team, we are beginning the most significant restructure in Xbox history. So they're restructuring, they're changing. Again, I'm always hesitant when I hear restructuring. That's like a nice way of saying, yeah, we're laying off people. We'll see how the restructuring actually works. But it's a corpo way of saying we're just gonna cut people. After careful considerations, I've made the difficult decision to reduce our team by approximately 3,200. Is that the most layoffs we've seen in like this past several years? I think so. Like, that's significant. Now, before we continue, I want to call out that Xbox was the one that kicked off all the spending, like buying up a bunch of studios, hiring a bunch of people during like COVID and beyond. Like they kicked that. They were, in fact, Sony saw that, and that's what ended up happening with Bungie getting bought out by them. Is Xbox just went through a spending spree, and apparently they overspent. This will include approximately 1,600 roles eliminations today. So there is about to be more jobs lost in the future. In addition, 4 studios will leave Xbox new management. That's huge, by the way. That right there is massive, because unlike Sony, who just straight up shuts down studios, Xbox is just 4 studios will leave Xbox to new management, meaning someone else is going to have control over those studios. That's crazy that they just let them go. They didn't shut them down. They let them go, which is, again, something Sony doesn't do. I recognize that a year-long restructuring creates additional challenges. Unfortunately, it is not possible to make all the necessary changes in a single day. And I wanted to be direct about the scale. Oh my God, transparency, honesty. Hey, listen, you guys shit on them because it's not her fault because she just got into her position, but it's Microsoft's fault overall for overspending and going on a hiring spree and all. It's their fault. They saw money, they chased greed, and now they got their ass kicked, and now people are getting laid off for it. So, but I will give them props that they're not laying off studios. They're allowing studios to continue to exist. That is impressive. I know this is painful. These changes will directly affect people who have poured their creativity into building Xbox. Many joined us through acquisitions, while others were recruited here or sought us out because they loved this industry and loved Xbox. Today's decisions do not reflect their talent or dedication. You know what? This statement already sounds more sincere than anything Sony has ever put out. Listen, we're comparing this to Sony because Nintendo has no layoffs. Listen, they are very pro-employee Nintendo. I shit on them for being anti-consumer, but they're like they're giving their employees bonuses right now. Asian companies are like them are willing to take pay cuts. The leaders are not Sony though. Our business today is not healthy. We are operating at margins that are 3 to 10 times lower than comparable platform and publishing businesses. We enter Gen 9 with a smaller install base and a higher cost structure. To grow, we bet on Game Pass, multi-platform, and broader portfolio of content. While those businesses have created meaningful value, they did not grow the space as expected. Wow, just being honest. Why is it so hard? This is like, unlike Marathon, who's like, Marathon or Bungie didn't, or Destiny didn't meet our expectations. And instead of just straight up saying what actually was the problem, they circle jerk around saying, we've got high retention, everything's great. They're saying, hey, we failed. We're owning it. We wanted Game Pass to be the thing, and it's not going where we wanted. We were doing multi-platforms. It wasn't working because they wanted to be the everything media console, and it just kind of, people got mad at that because they wanted Xbox to be a console for gamers. They didn't want all this extra bullshit. In fact, they were trying to push Copilot into the console and all that shit. And no one wants the AI stuff. So they were making bad moves, and they own it, which is something that's not really heard of in this industry. As that happened, our core business weakened, and we added more teams, more investment, and more time, hoping for a better outcome. So they put more fuel, they threw more on the fire, hoping it would burn, but instead you just had a bunch of wet logs and the fire was going out. And now the industry is facing the most severe hardware crisis in its history. We must reset Xbox. Yeah. They're not getting console sales. Everything's getting expensive. They can't afford it. We can't afford it. They're increasing prices. Like everything's going up, and it's not like, it's crazy because they see what we see. They know that them increasing prices is going to decrease people buying their console. They know it's going to happen. They see it, right? First, we reset our content portfolio. Since 2018, we have aggressively expanded our studio portfolio, while the number of games created each month across the industry now outpaces the last 10 years combined. Jesus. That's a nice way of saying for the past 10 years or so, we've not made shit. And Halo Infinite was dog shit. We now find ourselves competing not only with the largest publishers, but also with smaller independent studios, indies. Yeah. And I'm glad that they're saying this quiet part out loud. They're competing with indie developers. They are competing with dudes, like two dudes in their mom's basement making indie games that sold over 10 million copies. Yeah, the Mecha Chameleon, 10 million copies, and it's made by two dudes. You gotta know that Microsoft and especially Sony, that's embarrassing that they're getting raw dogged by two low man developers, not even studios, making games that people are enjoying. And it goes to show that you don't need to spend fucking $3 to $5 million on a fucking game for it to be fun and enjoyable. This is a concept that these people need to learn. You don't need to spend $3 to $5 million to make a good game, or be GTA and spend $2 billion in 16 years to make a fucking game. Learn from the indies. Sometimes it doesn't have to be the biggest, fanciest shit possible. Just make a good game, a fun game. Remember when games were just fun? We find ourselves competing not only against them, but the indies. We have also learned that we are not the best home for every type of studio. In a typical year, we lost 64 cents for every dollar we invested. As we reset Xbox, we will help independent creators succeed by providing open development tools and audiences to realize their vision. Compulsion Games and Double Fine Productions will return to management and transition to independent studios with their IP. They're just letting them go. Holy, not shutting them down. Sony, take notes. Catalog and Runaway for their next games. Ninja Theory and Undead Labs have entered terms to join new ownership with funding to complete and grow Sinew and State of Decay 3. In France, Arcane's management is beginning required consultation with its work council to review potential strategic options. We are also making reduction across other units and in some cases shifting investment to focus on higher priority projects. These changes vary in size across Activision, Bethesda, ZeniMax, Blizzard, King, Mojang, and Xbox Game Studios. None of our first party publicly announced games or projects are being canceled as part of these reductions. In addition, Mojang and King will reportedly direct to me. These two studios have increasingly become platforms and are largest by monthly active players. They bring critical geographic, demographic, and differentiation to Xbox, which, by the way, Minecraft is the, outside, I think, of CSGO, is one of the most sold, most played video games ever. Like, it has, and it is so cheap. And once you have it, you can mod it for years. I can make you can make an entire YouTube channel on just Minecraft and go through every possible mod, and you will probably spend a year doing so with all the fun things and crazy things you can do with this game. Talk about, if you want your kid to play a game, make them play Minecraft. And download mods every time they get bored of it. Just give them a PC, Minecraft, and download mods saying, nope, we're not buying. You want Grand Theft Auto? No, no. What's that? You want Mario Kart? Fuck carts. You're doing Minecraft. Second, we will reset our platform. We know that our great technology gets better when it gets simpler, not bigger. Today, in some parts of the company, work passes through as many as 14 layers of management. You know the saying, too many chiefs, not enough Indians? This is one of those cases where there's too many chiefs and there's too many Indians. Our platform teams are 40% larger than they were at the start of this generation. Even as our players' base and playtime have declined, that complexity has slowed decisions, blurred accountability, and made it harder to deliver for players. As we reset Xbox, we'll simplify. You know what's insane? They said another quiet part out loud, that they make games that no one wants, and there's so many layers that they have to get through, like for criticism and what, changing the course of the ship. With that 14 layers of leadership, I can see why it's taking them so long to navigate. I'm glad that they're calling out that it's management. It's not just dev work. It's management. It's the leaders. There's too many people to try to. And the sad part of it is you might have one manager that hates something and then loves it, and then you might have hate, love, late. So with 14 different people who are leading and making decisions, they can alter a project completely. It's insane. We will reduce management layers to no more than 5. Oh my God. And where possible, 3. We will deliver success through our flatter organization that is built around makers, individual contributors focused on building, player coaches, leaders who remain deeply involved in the work while developing their teams, and directly responsible individuals, DRIs, who own key decisions and outcomes. We will streamline how we work across our tools with a cleaner code base, shared services, and 50% reduced vendor spending. Oh my, holy shit. They are literally putting out their dirty laundry for everyone. Like, as someone who is just a consumer, like, I have an Xbox and I've been wondering why I have no reason to use it. Since I bought it, it's literally being used as like a, decoration, and it's got, I don't even know if it works. That's how bad it is. I don't know if it works anymore. Like, this Xbox is just falling off a cliff, and they're like, these are all the issues that we have with our company. That's crazy. The amount of transparency. Like, this is the stuff I love to see from billion-dollar companies, is airing their laundry out like that and taking ownership for where they made mistakes. Third, we are resetting. Now, should we have seen this before people lost their jobs? Yeah. Third, we are resetting how we operate. As Xbox grew our headcount, we became more fragmented. Teams, studios, and functions often operate independently, and it became harder to work towards a shared goal, make the right trade-off, and get things done. For the first time, we are establishing a chief operating officer with end-to-end P&L responsibility across content, hardware, platform, services. Helen Chang has been promoted to this role and will report directly to me. Over nearly 2 decades at Xbox, Helen has helped build some of our most important businesses, from Xbox Live to leading Mojang in the Minecraft franchise. She will bring our business together under one operating model, making sure we make clear investment decisions, learn from our successes and failures, and hold ourselves accountable for results. Thank you, Dave McCarthy, who is retiring after 17 years of Xbox. Dave has played a defining role in building the platform that millions of players rely on every day, and has been a trusted partner through many of the biggest moments in Xbox history. We wish him all the best. Sorry, I had to pause. My throat's getting sore. These changes are a bigger future for Xbox, not a smaller one. The next decade of gaming will be larger, more global, and more creative than we've ever seen before. This year, we'll invest as much in Xbox as we ever have, but we'll invest with greater focus, greater discipline, and greater clarity, all in service of making Xbox where the world plays and creates. I want Xbox to be one of the few companies that entertains more than 1 billion people each day and gives everyone the opportunity to create and connect. I know we can achieve this goal. Xbox has many of the most beloved franchises in entertainment history, talented studios around the world, and we will return to growth in 2027. History is full of companies that make history is full of companies that mistake longevity for inevitability. We will not be one of them, Ashen. But this is night and day from Sony. Sony seems like corporate slop. This seems like there's corporate in there, but it's very raw, transparent, and you know what I love? The ownership. The literally calling out the 14 layers of leadership and saying, hey, we messed up, we overspent, we didn't meet our goals, Game Pass wasn't working, we want to do this is our goal. We want you to know. Instead of Sony just straight up laying everyone off, they're letting studios keep some IPs going on their way or being bought by someone else. Like, you could be upset, and it's still shitty that Microsoft let it get to the point where they're greed, they overspent, and they got greedy, and now people are losing their jobs for it. It sucks. At the same time, they are allowing studios to continue to exist. They're taking ownership. They're not feigning ignorance. They're not blaming the market. They're not blaming other people. They're not giving us this shitty corpo, Herman Holst bullshit. Like, I actually have some, as someone who has only really used a PlayStation now for the past, I don't know how many years, I'm starting to get convinced to just drop the PlayStation and go Xbox. Like, I'll be honest. Like, I'm very much getting convinced to make the transfer, the jump, the movement. Especially since Game Pass is not getting more expensive compared to PlayStation, which is going up in price. Like their services, it's just one is actually trying to say, hey, we're gonna try to actually be more gamer focused. Our company needs to do that. Hey, we need to go where the fish are. If we want to survive, we need to cater to our audience, which is gamers. Where Sony's like, fuck you, we're laying people off, suck our dick. Yeah, so fuck Sony is what I gotta say. But hey, so some good news with some layoffs. So Chris Avellone, co-founder of Obsidian Entertainment, has confirmed that Matt Hansen, the art director of Avowed, who refused to hire white devs, is no longer at Obsidian. Yes, the guy that you want to say. So here's what the original was. No, that was not Hansen, who is now gone. Daniel, who's a very good guy, was great during the Fallout DLCs. Didn't post anything like that that I'm aware of. So this guy represents what people would say woke, and where I tend to believe that this is a perfect example, and I would buy into that this is woke bullshit. Reminder to black artists out there who are looking for portfolio reviews or job advice. My DMs are open and you will always have my priority. We got too many crusty white dudes in this field. Please let me help you replace me one day. I want to go back to living in the woods. Such fucking weirdo energy. What a fucking weirdo. Like that, like you're inherently being racist to white people when you are white. Go back to the mental asylum. Like that is a perfect example of wokeism that I can agree, because it's so blatant. There's no like people are overblowing. No, that person just is a trash can human being. So, you know, put the fries in the bag. Hopefully you never have any involvement in video games, especially if you're being that divisive. Go fuck yourself. This made me laugh, but then I felt really bad. Achievement unlocked, laid off. Like it's funny because it's Xbox, but I feel so bad. This, like, that's all I gotta say. Like they're trying to make the best out of it. Like that's funny. Achievement unlocked, because that's Xbox and their achievements. Like that used to be the meme. Is like achievement unlocked. Pissed off your neighbor, like, or whatever the montage videos used to be, right? Now, some more in Xbox news. Rumor, Xbox is reportedly considering placing the Halo franchise under the control of Activision. According to Jez Gordon at Xbox, they admire the consistency and stability with Activision, which Activision handles its sagas. And the leadership believes that Halo could work as an Activision franchise to finally reach its full potential. If we're talking single player, then no. Their single player has gone off the deep end. Do not touch the single player. Now, multiplayer, I mean, I don't know how I feel. Like, that was pretty much Halo 4. Was like, people complained about Halo 4 because it said it felt like Call of Duty. Which I liked Halo 4. That Halo 4 multiplayer, I really enjoy. It looks clean. I like the loadout control. I have a good time with Halo 4. But I'm not going to try to convince you to like Halo 4. I'm not going to be that. You hate Halo 4, you think it's trash, you're correct. I'm not going to argue it and try to convince you. It's my guilty pleasure. I know I'm the minority. I accept it. But I don't know how I feel about them. The Activision does not have a good history recently with their storyline, so we'll see how that plays out. Then there was this weirdness where, you know, we're talking about PlayStation. People are digging up their dirty laundry. So this is what we have. It's important to understand the context behind this. Only 50% of PS5 games purchased were physical because most of them are either free to play, digital only, or became free to play through a PlayStation service. So PlayStation tried to make it sound like more, or people were desperately trying to say, you know, the trend is that more people are going digital, but the reality is on PlayStation specifically, most of the stuff is doesn't even have physical anyways. So it's a fallacy. It's skewing data. Remember, when we're talking about data, you have to have full context of data, because you can manipulate data to make it say one thing when actually there is no connection there. There's no causation. In this case, the lack of, you know, physical copy games has led to an increase in digital sales. When you can't say, well, there's less physical copy sales and people are moving toward this trend of digital only. Well, in this case, when there's less ability to get these games physically, then that's the reality that you see. Apparently, if this post correct, Sony's doing the good old-fashioned obfuscation of the actual data behind free-to-play games as a service games. Yeah, so it's manipulating the data, and Sony is just they're liars. Anyone that says that, oh, they wouldn't lie, they do. They literally deceive their own shareholders by manipulating the truth with Marathon, saying Marathon has high retention, though they didn't mention anything about how, one, it doesn't even sell well on their own console. Two, the player count is like nothing, and financially it hasn't made any money, but they try to make it sound good by like, the people that play have high retention. Oh yeah, so the five dudes, and the one guy playing at McDonald's drive-through, they're having a great time. Okay, that doesn't mean anything. So the community note is back. So apparently there's been the saga about community notes, and I'm going to give my thoughts in a minute. PlayStation fought hard and got those previous community note on the post removed, but how have they've made a better one? According to the note, based on leaked info, they lied. From the Insomniac leak, PlayStation's own single-player games make up to 60 to 77% of sales. The data being used to argue for higher digital purchase include DLC expansions, digital-only games such as Early Access and Live Service. Yeah, so apparently there was more information that their single-player games are actually selling a lot on disc. I wonder why. GameStop, Trading with Friends, Walmart, all that jazz, right? For the players, for the investors, which is Sony. Listen, I hope that Sony goes out of business. At this point, fuck them. I hope that all the studios get to go live on their own, and just PlayStation themselves goes out of business. Fuck them. Fuck them. They're anti-gamer, anti-consumer. They're anti their own workers. They're anti-studios because they're shutting them down. At least Xbox is letting people have some dignity and keep their studios. They're laying people off, but at least they're having some dignity. Sony just does not give a fuck about anything but money. So fuck them. I hope they go broke. Do it. It's a digital release. GTA will be there for you. Do something better if you can afford spending money elsewhere. Hit them hard. Tell them you don't agree with it. Yeah. I'm not going to GTA. I'm going to be streaming no commentary. I'm going to watch someone else who's already played it, give commentary on it, and share everyone with the gameplay. So we watch it together, and we don't give Sony $100. We say, fuck you, Sony. So it's not stealing, it's not breaking copyright, it's fair use, because we are transforming the media of someone else's recorded it, we're making it transformative. So get fucked, Sony. New community note. So I'm just gonna they are at war with the community. The PlayStation was roasted 13 times with community notes showing up and changing over the last 5 days for attempts to end physical games. 155 views on X, 25 million more than the first trailer or GTA 6, 3 times more than the GTA pre-order announcement. The greatest self-sabotage in history. No disc, no buy. But I want to call something out, and someone in the comments section, I need you to correct me, inform me. Is it they can't take down the community notes themselves? It's whoever has the ability. Like, I guess they could. Like, once it's up, don't you have to vote to remove something? Like, I've never done a community note or try to make one or put some, but whoever has the ability to put them up, don't you have to vote? So that, like, are we saying that PlayStation has people on Twitter who are voting to remove it and removing it? I don't know. Like, it's obviously someone is changing it. It's very obvious through the evidence that these are changing, but I thought you can't go click and remove a community note yourself. You have to vote on it with other people who have the ability to put community notes. So someone correct me who's more knowledgeable. I don't do community notes. So a lot of PS5 owners are becoming interested in jailbreaking their consoles after Sony announced it will stop releasing new PlayStation games on physical disc. A jailbroken PS5 can run homebrew apps, emulators, and other unofficial software. Players see it as a way to preserve games and keep older titles working in the future of Sony. Now, if you're telling me I can emulate new games that normally could not be emulated on, oops, just knocked over my stuff. Whoopsie doopsie. If I can emulate, let's say, the new God of War, if I said, fuck it, I'm not buying it, but I get an emulator? Can I put it on a jailbroken PS5 and it runs fine? Because I know there's certain emulators, like you can't play certain consoles on PC because they haven't developed the emulators yet. Again, I'm not savvy on emulators. I just download them and play. But if it's on the actual console itself, can you then emulate them? If so, then I'm jailbreaking my PlayStation for the future. I don't care if I can't play online because I'm just going to be downloading a bunch of free games. Fuck you. That's how I feel. And then we're going to end with this on the PlayStation saga. Everybody, the day PlayStation finally decided to tweet again.
Tapped on his window. Hey, my man, can I just talk to you guys for a second? Come on out for a second. I just want to talk to you.
I love Dave
Four young
Chappelle.
white dudes in the car. They're like, just chill, bro. I said, relax. I just want to talk.
I just
Now,
want to talk.
This is an old black trick. Really, I didn't want to talk. I was going to fuck him up.
Well, fuck him up.
Just tapped on his window.
Wake up, Sony. Wake up. I love Dave Chappelle. Anyways, hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. As always, I'll see you next time. We will probably hear more of the console saga, but yeah, it's crazy how Xbox at the end of the day laid off more people and yet was somehow able to do a press release that was significantly better than PlayStation has ever done. Like, it's crazy. And you know, the real deal is you can make a nice little paragraph and say all this. If you're going to lay off all these people, make it count. If you don't prove with your actions, people are going to look back at this and call you out, and rightly so. They're going to call you out for being a liar and deceptive. And honestly, as nice and as much as I want to say that gives me hope, I'm a realist. You start walking before you start talking. So unfortunately, people are walking out the building because they're fired, but I want to see things change and improve for the gamer before I start, you know, fondling the balls of Xbox. So, you know, you're not in the shitter as much as Sony, but that's not saying much. Like, Sony's literally taking the shotgun to their own balls and blowing it off. And Sony, Nintendo's been doing Nintendo stuff for years, and they just don't care. Like, they still get sales regardless. So, anyways, we'll see how it goes. As always, I'll see you next one, and until next time, game out. Huzzah.